Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got a Husqvarna chainsaw here. Chainsaw videos seem to be really popular, but I've seen some people telling some people some stuff that I don't think is going to work very well. So let's see if I can do any better. Oh, this is a Husqvarna 445. It's got these little clips, so just like I did, just take a screwdriver and pop them off. And first thing we do in every piece of 2-cycle equipment that comes in is take the customer's fuel out, put our fuel in, and if the customer's fuel smells funky, we change the fuel filter. Old gas, old mix can, good mix can. Looks like he's got his chain brake on. Wonder if that's why it wouldn't start. The problem he described is he can't get it started. So before I even try to start it, I'm gonna get his fuel out. Screwdriver's a good tool to do this with. Put our fuel in it, check the fuel filter. Yeah, it doesn't smell very good, so we'll be sticking a fuel filter in this one too. There's the old fuel filter, and I made a tool out of a coat hanger. Get those things up to where I can get my fingers on them and get them out. Man, if you got something, unless you go ahead and get your filter first, you got something you can just kind of very gently clip on there just to hold it up out of the fuel tank. Yeah, that is funky smelling. Ooh, we spilled a little fuel, didn't we? We usually use a dirty rag to wipe spilled fuel up. Here's a new fuel filter, okay? I'm gonna look down here and make sure I got pretty much all that gas out. There's still just a little tiny bit in there, so get it all out. Put your new fuel filter on. Put it down in the tank. We use non-ethanol fuel with stabilizer and Opti 2 mix for all 2 cycles. That should be enough to get her to run if she wants to. So Yeah, I got a little over half tank in there. Put the fuel cap back on. See what's gonna happen. It's got a pump up, bub, so let's see if we can pump it up. Oh yeah, it's pumping up good. It's got a Chinese spark plug in it, so it's not coming out of here with that Chinese spark plug. It's got a compression release right here that you push down to start it, and when it starts really developing compression, it'll pop out. So let's see what she does. Pump the fuel up good. This is, you pull this little thing out, pull this up. You see that little rod right there that pushes that rod down, sets your choke and sets your throttle a little bit open too. Safely crank these things. Make sure your chain's gonna roll. Be careful, don't cut your fingers. I always put my foot down right here on this, and I just sit in a chair and do it. It's just easier for me. Well, honestly, I think it should have hit by now. So I'm gonna, plug seems to be good and tight. I'm gonna check and see if the coil's firing. It looks like something's happened to it, and it's had some tape put on it here at one time. I'm gonna put a little spark tester on there and see if we get, see what we get on this when we pull it. And it's firing a little bit. I don't know if it's firing enough. I think it may not be. Let's see what this is covering. Well, it's covering another piece of tape. Huh? Let's get that off and see what's going on. Looks like the end of it right there. Yeah. Glad I didn't cut my fingernails last night. Started to, kind of needed that one. Well, that's really good electrical tape. Husqvarna may have put that on for all I know. I'm tired of fooling with that, so this won't take too long. Real careful with a little knife right here, not to cut into the wiring insulation, just to cut the tape, get it moving off of here. Be a little more careful with my pull this time, see if I can get all this off. And if there's a problem with this wire, I've had people try to tie coil wires together before. No, it's all off, and that seems to be okay. So let's grab a spark plug. This is an NGK BMPR7A. Huh, we got a light in our eyes. Oh! And this takes a 3/4 socket or 3/4 spark plug too, either one. Get it off. It wasn't in there super tight. It's really not wet, so first cylinder looks wet. I don't see much wetness in that cylinder. So we may not be getting fuel up there. Two. You know what, before I do that, I'm gonna do one other thing. See what we've got on the end of this spark plug here. Just hold it to there. That plug is not firing. Yeah, it is. I can see it now. It is firing, and it's firing all the way through the pull. You want to make sure it keeps firing all the way through your pull. You see that little blue spark. Excuse me. Taking all the allergy medicine my body can handle right now. Sometimes it's still not enough. And I like to crush that crush filter on this thing down pretty good, and when the plug starts really feeling tight, then I stop turning. So on the off chance this could be a junk spark plug, let's try it again. Well, I don't know why I said off chance. Those Chinese spark plugs are pretty much junk spark plugs. Ha! She almost did something. I'm gonna take the choke off. Okay, so it's idling way too fast. And I was trying to adjust it before I cut it off. But it looks like my tool fell off my tool rack. See what that one's for. Look, I think Husqvarna's splined. That's Pac-Man. Yeah, you can get all these little adjustment tools on the internet. We've got bunches and bunches and bunches of them. Well, I don't see my spline tool anywhere. I think I saw one laying right here the other day. Got knocked over here some kind of way. There she is. Oh. Now, if you put a saw on the table, don't take your hand off of it. Yeah, there we go. Now we're in the low idle screw, which goes right through here, and your top, when it's on, tells you what these screws are: low idle, high idle, and then your overall throttle. I backed that throttle out and it changed nothing. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this to the right, hopefully reduce the fuel flow. I'm going to turn it like a half of a turn, start it again, see what happens. Ha! I wonder where that high idle is. Yeah, there's about a half turn. Another half turn, so that's a turn. Another half turn, and that's seated, okay? So I'm gonna back this one out. I want it. Half turn, back it out one turn. And I'm gonna seat this one, screw it all the way in until you feel it start to resist you, and don't screw it any farther than that. That was almost all the way in. So I'm gonna pop this one out a turn and a half. There's a half turn, there's a turn. There's a turn and a half. Let's see what it does now. That'll be a pretty good starting point for us, so we can go from there. And somewhere in there might be okay, but this thing may need a carburetor. Over here, if you can see this little cable, that's your throttle cable, and it's right where it's supposed to be. So unless this linkage right here is keeping this thing from going down, and from here it doesn't look like it is. I think that's all working the way it's supposed to work. I'm gonna turn this main throttle down a little bit. I was doing that first and thought I backed it out too much, but maybe not. Yep, that let it down more. And when I mean down, I mean going back this way. Let's try it now and see what it does. Now I won't hit a lick. So I probably need to back this low idle out a little bit more. So let's come out about a half a turn and see what happens. Nothing. Maybe that's too low. Alright, so I'm gonna go back all the way in and seat this low idle. Make sure I'm still on low idle. I am. Okay, that's seated. So I'm gonna come out. Half turn. That makes it one turn. I'm gonna come back out to a turn and a half. See what it'll do. Choke it for a second. A little more fuel in there. Nope. It gets that hard. Take my high idle. Take it back out a half turn. Throttle back in. Move the throttle back in a little bit. Half turn and a turn. I can smell the gas now. So I know it's getting plenty. Ooh, that's not cool. Check that thing. You may want to put a glove on. You've been burned as many times as I have. Not immune to it yet. Most people aren't, I would say. I am going to grab a rag, take that spark plug out. So what we're trying to do is get it to idle without the chain moving. Reach that speed, because it seems to be real good at speeding up. Okay, that spark plug's dry as a bone, and it's ashy white. That means it's running too lean. It's not getting enough fuel. There are many reasons for that. It could be the fuel lines are sucking a little bit of air now. It could be a restriction in the carburetor. It could be the fuel tank vent is stopped up. Let's see if we get pressure when we open this. Yep, I heard air pop out when I'm opening this. So that tells me that the fuel tank vent is either probably partially stopped up, so it's not letting enough air in to let the correct amount of fuel out. And it's either going to be right in here, it's going to be right in here somewhere. So let's see if we can find it. And it's hidden very well, actually. Yeah, I don't see it over here. Oh yeah, there it is. Get this little thing, I'll use it for a pointer. See that? This right here, that my screwdriver's on. Hopefully you can see that little white thing sticking out. That's your fuel tank vent. They're not cheap. They're about $20 a piece, but when you need one, you need one. So we'll be ordering a fuel tank vent for this, and then we'll take it from there.